Good morning. Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you made it. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a forex trader here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. I had to sleep in this morning. I was pretty tired after last night. What a night we had! It was amazing. Pretty pretty huge push up and then just a complete rejection. Even it surprised me. We're going to talk about it and see what's going on in the market today. So glad you popped in. We're going to jump right into the analysis because I've got to run. But I just want to look at the macro look here at the chart here. Just kind of step back and say, okay, what's going on here? The big question mark is this wave complete or do we have another downside? To me, it looks like we've had more downside to go. That's what I'm expecting. We've got another push down. We've begun it. Okay, we probably going to have a pullback today, a little bit of some kind, and then continuation over the weekend, or at some point in the weekend. It wouldn't surprise me if we take a couple of days to consolidate this market. So I just want you to be aware of that. But yeah, it's looking pretty good to the downside. We've got a couple of targets. Let's just take a peek at just some major support and resistance right here. Let me just throw a couple lines here. Right there. There we go. Right at $7,500, which we have a fib target there, a one-to-one extension, puts us right there at $7,500. We haven't tagged it yet, so that's the first target I'm looking to see us come down to, about $7,500. You can see how the one-to-one extension is right on my yellow line right there. So there's level number one. Where would we expect more support after that? Well, we have our 1276 extension right here at the 6139 level as well. So let's put a yellow line there because that's going to be another key area. That's kind of confluent right here with this area you can see. So anywhere, I would say anywhere, this is our zone right here. This is our zone between $61 and $7,500. Now you say, Jim, that is a huge area. Yeah, it is. It is. But here's what we do. As price makes its way down, we can see some waves form. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting notifications everywhere. But as we see waves beginning to form, what we can do is make projections as to where we think price is head. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We can make projections as to where we think price is headed. Um, so once we get a one and a two wave, last night I showed everybody, I began showing people how to use the Fibonacci tool, and that was a fantastic little way. And that's what we're going to do here. We take our extension tool here and we project where price is coming. The big question mark is what is the nature of this wave? Looking to me like we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a big ABC. All right. So if that's the case, let's just try one more way to project a bottom here, just to see if we can nail it. So let's go right here to here since we have a 1 to a 3 and then the 618 puts us right around $6,900. So that's just another price target there that we might consider from a fib perspective. What would that correspond to? It corresponds with the bottom of the structure right here. So yeah, $7,500. I think there's another way. Here, let me do one more fib target as well. I know I see one more, but just different ways to measure here. See if there's any confluence with the targets. If I do it from the A and the B and the C, we've got the 1276 extension right there at $7,200. Right there. Okay, so yeah, there's some targets for us on the macro scale, and that'll give us something to look for and watch for as prices coming down. Now let's just jump into the micro just a little bit and see what we're seeing. Something interesting that one of the viewers shared with me, and I really appreciate it, is if we just look right here, it's a really interesting fractal pattern here. You'll see how we had off the bottom we had. Let me zoom in just a hair. Let's go into maybe the 6-hour chart. Let's just look at the bottom of this wave and see what we can see here. If there's any kind of interesting notions here. As we came down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, we finished 5 waves down here. We had a 5-wave move off the bottom. Okay, and then we had this, just this long drawn out sideways, down slanted channel. Okay, that took forever to play out. This was a very long time. That's many, many days. But let's see if I can get you see that channel formed right there. Well, after that, what we had is a breakout to the upside right here. Okay, and here's the pattern I wanted you to see, and what he pointed out to me. We had 1, 2, another break, 3, 4, and then 5. But notice what happened. We had an immediate just rejection. I mean, and it went straight down. I mean, it was just brutal, brutal. Let's take a peek and see how far it retraced here. Right, there we go. It came down. The first initial came to the 50% mark, and just a little lower than the 50% mark, probably somewhere around 60%. We had a bit of a retrace that came back. It took several days, obviously, but it wicked down to 61. The 618, and then went up, and eventually it came down and landed and rested on the 618, and that was kind of the pattern that happened there. Let's just zoom over here. Just remember that picture there, okay? And let's just zoom over here to where we are now. See if I can find it. There we go. Now this is smaller, right? This is a smaller time frame, but just take a peek at it. Let's go to the 2-hour. Okay, we came and bottomed out. Looks like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We finished here in 5. You might that 2 is higher than the 1. I don't know if you can consider that 5 waves or not. I'm just thinking outside the box right now, really, to be honest with you. Outside of my box, at least. Then we had a move to the upside. We got a long, slow trudge to the downside and a channel. You can see that this, again, this is just a fractal pattern. It's just a pattern in the market, a repetitious thing playing out, right? It's not perfect, but it's certainly interesting. Okay, and then what do we get? Well, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, and then we had a straight down movement last night. Let's take a peek and see what the retrace was and is. It came down and has tagged the 50% mark. Okay, we've tagged it. We've bounced off of it. Now, chances are we're going to get a little bit of a bounce here. It may continue down here to the 618 at some point. It may wick down here to the 618 eventually. Now, if that fractal pattern continues, so if this is a 5 wave to the upside, like in the other one, then we're going to continue on from here, and this is good news for a reversal. Okay, just something to consider, something to watch for. See if that continues playing out. We'll kind of compare those along the way. Just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. Again, we understand that completely, but that's just something interesting that I think somebody shared with me, and I really think it's worth noting and worth keeping in the back of our mind, so that we can just keep an eye on that. All right, so let's take a peek at the Elliott wave scenario here. This could simply be 5 waves of an A, B, C, which that's what it looks like here. This is actually a higher low than that, so this is more like a 5 wave A, a B, and a C right there, a 5, a 3, and a 5. And it looks like it's finished, came up, the 1-to-1 extension was hit, but we bounced off of that, and then we came up to the next extension off of that. Let me just show you where we tagged. Right here, you can see how we tagged the 1-to-1 extension here, and then we came up and just barely tagged the 1276. Guys, I wasn't expecting quite such a dramatic rejection like that. Shoot, I wasn't even ready for it. I didn't even get a chance to take profit like I wanted to, and then I got a deer in the headlights as price came down. So, but we were in the trade. We had this called yesterday to the upside and the breakout, and everybody was warned, and our group was in the trades. That was good, but it just surprised the mess out of every one of us, how bad that rejection was. And so we're going to take that experience and learn from it, and we move on in the market. So all right, let's take a peek here at the 30-minute chart. See what we can see here. There's really nothing to see. There's nothing to count here. Even if I go down to the smaller time frames, there might be a 1, 2, 3 right there, 4, 5. It might be finished. We might have one more leg down. This might be an ending diagonal as well, but as a fifth wave ending diagonal, I'm not positive on that. But this is just kind of bleeding out. But I think it possibly is done. We've got some divergence here. That's on the 5 minute. Let's see if we have any divergence. See, there's nothing really on the 1 hour to diverge from. Let me see here. See on the 20 minutes if there's any divergence there. There we go. Let me take that off. Not much divergence to speak of there. Not much. 15-minute chart. There is divergence on the 15-minute chart, which means in the short term we're going to get a bounce here. Okay, you can see the divergence. Get that out of the way a little bit. Right there. And so we should be seeing a bounce here. I mean, we got a bounce, but it should probably continue to the upside. This RSI should probably continue to move to the upside a bit. We may have a break dip back down to the bottom in the RSI, which means one more hit to the low. That would kind of mean maybe nah. I say that, but nah, I'm not liking it. What I was about to say, I don't like it, so I'm just not going to share it. Okay. All right. Let's take a peek. Finally, just to do our final analysis here of this wave on the very small time frame. See if there's any clues in this wave. Tell us where we're going. It looks like off the bottom here we got a nice leading diagonal. With an expanded flat here at the of a correction here. It looks to be that that's the case. This measures fairly impulsively. Let's see. One, boom. I said that. I measured it earlier. How did I get that impulsive measurement? Right there. There we go. I was on the wrong location. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like it's possible that this is a leading diagonal. It might just be a corrective wave. We're going to get another corrective wave, and then we'll get so this might just be a larger corrective wave. The shape of which looks like this one. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, like so. And then we could get more downside from there. Or this might be the beginning of a larger correction here. Going to get a pullback, and then we're going to get a larger correction like that. That's more what I'm expecting from here. We need it. I mean, this wave is looking complete here, and it needs to come up and correct larger time frame. Personally, I'm going to be looking for a short. Once we get up there, provided a couple of things happen. I'm going to be looking for short entries. Once price comes up here, that's the play that I'm going to be looking to make. And here are my criteria. Number one, I need to see a three-wave correction. Okay, I need that three-wave correction to measure correctively. I taught that what that meant last night in the live stream class, but that means when I pull the fibs on it like this, it comes to the 1-to-1 extension or the 1276. That doesn't mean this high. I'm just showing you what the fibs would look like. Okay, I need to see that as three waves, and it needs to count properly within those waves. I need to see 535, or they need at least needs to be a clear WXY. So that's what I'd be looking for. But we're going to be watching the bottom here, and then a reversal. We should be seeing a correction at some point. Price generally just doesn't keep going straight down forever. We should see some corrective moves here shortly. At least 50% of retrace of of the current move. So I would guess we could have a pullback to 85.50 in that ballpark. A minimum of up to structure here at 84.86. Should see a pullback up to there at least. So let's watch price. Let's see what it does there. Is there anything to look at in Litecoin and Ethereum? Still got these targets up here for Litecoin. There's a good chance if Bitcoin corrects and goes up. I mean, it's possible that we still come up and hit those, though. It's looking less and less likely. But I don't like this wave structure. I don't think it's that likely unless Bitcoin becomes a lot more bullish than it looks right now. So if Bitcoin changes its tune and turns bullish on us, then Litecoin could possibly come up and hit these upper targets. But we had a front run on this target, didn't quite reach the 60.74 mark. That's a pretty tough one there. And then Ethereum. Just take a peek at Ethereum. Ethereum has made, oh, that's the 1 minute. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, we've got an impulse down to the downside. It doesn't look like a three wave. I'm expecting a pullback with Bitcoin. Ethereum looks a lot more like Litecoin. A lot more like Bitcoin to me in the wave shape. This has a similar wave shape, but it just looks like Ethereum's clearer to the upside, about 50% of this wave. So looking for a pullback and probably more short. Is the direction there. But again, let's just let the market play out. That's what I'm doing. We're gonna trade the larger time frames, but we use the smaller time frames to analyze direction. So anyway, that being said, guys, there's our analysis for today. If there's anything to share later on, I might bring an update video, but definitely in the Telegram group, I'll be updating you guys on a regular basis. So don't worry about that. All right, you guys have a fantastic Friday. I hope you did well last night. I hope it didn't. I hope that candle didn't catch you hard like it caught me for sure. It really was surprising. And anyway, but expect to pull back if you're in a position that you're not happy with. This pullback ought to allow you an opportunity to exit that position if you're still holding it. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.